There is a version of the farmhouse dream that looks very good on paper. Land, space, quiet, fresh air, and a price tag that makes urban real estate look criminal. Ohio has thousands of farmhouses sitting on the market right now, in towns where the asking price seems almost impossibly low. And yet buyers are not showing up. That is not an accident. The people who looked at these properties, ran the full numbers, and walked away know something that the listing photos do not show. And that is exactly what this video is about. We researched 10 Ohio towns where farmhouse inventory is high, buyer demand is low, and the gap between what these properties cost on paper and what they actually cost in reality is wide enough to swallow a significant financial mistake. We are going to tell you what is actually happening in each of these markets and why informed buyers are passing. Number 10. McConnellsville. McConnellsville is the county seat of Morgan County in southeastern Ohio, a small river town of around 1,600 people sitting along the Muskingum River. Farmhouses in and around McConnellsville can be found at prices that look extraordinary on a listing page. Properties with acreage in the $30,000 to $80,000 range are not unusual here. The reason buyers are not moving on these properties starts with the economic context of Morgan County itself. Morgan County consistently ranks among the lowest in Ohio for median household income, hovering around $38,000 to $42,000 annually. That figure matters for farmhouse buyers because the local economy does not support the service infrastructure that makes rural property ownership manageable. Finding reliable contractors for renovation work in this area is genuinely difficult. The skilled trades workforce has thinned considerably as younger workers have left for larger markets. When a farmhouse needs a new roof, updated electrical, or foundation work, which older farmhouses almost always do, the cost and timeline in a market with limited contractor availability is substantially higher than in more populated areas. The agricultural economy in Morgan County has also shifted. The farming operations that once made these properties economically productive have consolidated or disappeared, meaning a buyer purchasing a farmhouse with acreage is buying land that requires ongoing maintenance without the agricultural income stream that historically offset those costs. Broadband access in parts of Morgan County remains limited, which has become a decisive factor for remote workers who represent the most likely demographic for rural farmhouse purchases. Without reliable internet, the remote work lifestyle that makes rural living financially viable is not available. Number 9. Caldwell. Caldwell is the county seat of Noble County, another southeastern Ohio community where farmhouse prices are low and buyer activity is quiet. Noble County is one of the smallest counties in Ohio by population, with around 14,000 residents spread across a largely rural landscape. The farmhouses around Caldwell often come with the kind of acreage that would cost multiples of the asking price in almost any other state. The prices are real, the challenge is what surrounds them. Noble County has among the lowest population densities in Ohio, which means distance to services is a genuine daily reality rather than an occasional inconvenience. The nearest hospital from parts of Noble County is a significant drive, a factor that becomes increasingly important for families with children, older residents, or anyone with ongoing medical needs. The school district serving this area has faced enrollment declines and the resource pressures that accompany them. These are not abstract concerns. They are the daily operating conditions of life in this market. Oil and gas activity has historically been part of Noble County's economic landscape. Buyers of rural property in this county need to understand mineral rights, existing lease agreements, and the implications of oil and gas infrastructure on adjacent or underlying land. These are legal and practical complexities that add layers to a farmhouse purchase that do not appear in the listing description. The people who have looked seriously at Noble County farmhouses and passed are typically the ones who did a full due diligence on services, infrastructure, and the true cost of rural ownership in a low-density market. The price is low for reasons that become clear in that process. Most people watching this will keep browsing Zillow and hoping they pick right. A small number of people are going to go to the description right now and read what the data actually says about Ohio towns before they commit to anything. I built that report for the second group. Link is below. Number 8. Woodsfield. Woodsfield is the county seat of Monroe County in the far southeastern corner of Ohio, near the West Virginia border. The town has a population of around 2,400 people. Monroe County's farmhouses sit in some of the most visually beautiful landscape in Ohio, rolling hills, wooded ridges, and pastoral scenes that photograph beautifully. Monroe County is consistently among the lowest income counties in Ohio. The median household income sits in the range of $36,000 to $40,000. The poverty rate is significantly above state and national averages. These figures do not directly prevent a buyer from purchasing a farmhouse here, but they describe the economic environment that shapes everything else about the purchase experience. Property values in Monroe County have been essentially flat for an extended period. Buyers who purchase farmhouses here are not entering a market with meaningful appreciation potential in the near term. The investment case for a Monroe County farmhouse purchase rests almost entirely on personal use value rather than financial return, which is a legitimate reason to buy, but a different calculation than buyers sometimes assume when they see low prices and imagine upside. The road infrastructure in parts of Monroe County includes significant mileage of unpaved county roads that become genuinely difficult to navigate in winter conditions. Properties accessed via these roads face practical challenges that urban buyers sometimes underestimate. Delivery services, emergency response times, and the simple daily logistics of getting to and from a property are all affected. Number 7. Ironton. Ironton sits at the southern tip of Ohio, along the Ohio River in Lawrence County. It is a small city of around 11,000 people with a history tied to iron production, which gave it its name, and a present defined by the challenges of post-industrial economic transition. Farmhouses in the Lawrence County area surrounding Ironton can be found at very low prices. The region has natural beauty, river access, and the kind of landscape that attracts buyers who have dreamed of a rural Ohio life. But Lawrence County's economic statistics tell a more complicated story. Lawrence County has one of the higher poverty rates in Ohio. The job market is limited, with healthcare and government employment representing the primary stable sectors. For buyers who intend to live in a farmhouse here and work locally, the employment options are genuinely constrained. The Ohio River flooding history in Lawrence County is a critical factor that informed buyers investigate carefully. Floodplain designations in parts of the county have significant implications for insurance costs, mortgage availability, and the actual livability of properties during high water events. Flood insurance requirements can add thousands of dollars annually to the cost of property ownership in affected areas, fundamentally changing the economics of a low purchase price. Infrastructure investment in Lawrence County has lagged. Broadband deployment has been slower than in more densely populated Ohio counties. Water and sewer services do not reach all rural properties, meaning buyers must evaluate well and septic systems that may need significant investment. Number 6. Gallipolis. Gallipolis is the county seat of Gallia County in southern Ohio, a town of around 3,500 people with a French colonial founding history and a location on the Ohio River that gives it genuine scenic character. The downtown has historic architecture and a riverfront park that makes it easy to see why buyers find the area appealing in initial visits. Gallia County farmhouses are priced to reflect a market where demand has been soft for an extended period. Properties with multiple acres and substantial structures in the $50,000 to $100,000 range exist here. The initial price point attracts attention. The deeper research is where buyers start to recalibrate. Gallia County's population has been declining. The county had around 30,000 residents at recent counts, down from higher figures in previous decades. Population decline in a rural county creates a self-reinforcing cycle. Fewer residents mean less tax revenue. Less tax revenue means reduced services. Reduced services make the area less attractive to new residents, which accelerates decline. The farmhouses in the Gallipolis area that have been sitting on the market longest are typically the ones requiring the most significant renovation investment. Ohio's older rural housing stock, particularly farmhouses built in the early to mid-20th century or earlier, often carries deferred maintenance that accumulates into renovation budgets that can approach or exceed the purchase price. Buyers who have done detailed renovation assessments on Gallia County farmhouses frequently find that the true all-in cost of making a property livable is significantly higher than the listing suggests. Number 5. Barnesville. Barnesville is in Belmont County in eastern Ohio, a town of around 3,300 people in a region shaped heavily by coal and oil history. Belmont County sits in the heart of the Utica and Marcellus Shale Formation, which makes mineral rights and energy lease questions particularly significant for any land purchase here. Farmhouses in the Barnesville area and broader Belmont County are priced affordably relative to the acreage they include. The landscape is genuinely attractive, hilly, wooded, and rural in ways that appeal to buyers seeking distance from urban density. But the mineral rights situation in Belmont County is one of the most important and frequently misunderstood aspects of land purchase here. In many cases, mineral rights in Belmont County have been severed from surface rights in historical transactions, meaning a buyer purchases the surface land but does not own the minerals beneath it. Energy companies holding those mineral rights may have legal access to conduct operations on the surface land under certain conditions. For buyers who envision a private rural farmhouse experience, discovering that a natural gas company has existing rights to access the property is a significant complication. Active and historical drilling activity in parts of Belmont County has created infrastructure, roads, pipelines, and equipment presence that affects the character of rural land in ways that are not always visible in listing photos taken from favorable angles. Buyers who visit properties in person and investigate the broader land context before purchasing are the ones who understand what they are actually buying. The job market in Barnesville and Belmont County broadly has been affected by the energy sector's cyclical nature. The local economy is more dependent on energy production than most Ohio counties, creating vulnerability to commodity price swings. Number 4. Nelsonville. Nelsonville is in Athens County in southeastern Ohio, a small city of around 5,000 people with a unique character shaped by Ohio University's proximity in the neighboring city of Athens. Nelsonville has a historic downtown square and a surrounding rural landscape that includes farmhouse properties priced well below regional averages. The proximity to Ohio University is genuinely a mixed factor for farmhouse buyers in this market. Athens County benefits from the university's economic and cultural presence, but that benefit concentrates in Athens itself more than in surrounding communities like Nelsonville. The university does provide some employment base and institutional stability that pure rural counties lack, which is why Nelsonville sits higher on this list than the more remote southeastern Ohio communities. The challenge with Nelsonville area farmhouses is condition and the cost of improvement. This part of Ohio has a significant inventory of older housing stock that has been through multiple ownership cycles, some involving deferred maintenance that compounds over time. Buyers who commission thorough home inspections, including structural assessment, well and septic evaluation, and systems review, frequently find that the renovation budget required to bring a property to modern livable standards is substantial. The coal mining history of the broader Hocking Valley region, of which Nelsonville is a part, means that some properties sit above historical mine workings. Subsidence risk, which refers to the potential for ground movement above underground mine voids, is a real consideration for certain properties in this area. Title research and geological assessment matter here in ways they do not in most Ohio markets. Number 3. Waverly. Waverly is the county seat of Pike County in south-central Ohio, a town of around 4,300 people that gained significant national attention beginning in 2016 due to the Roden family murders, a high-profile criminal case that unfolded over several years and kept Pike County in national news coverage for an extended period. That notoriety has had a measurable effect on buyer perception of the Pike County area, including its farmhouse market. Whether that perception accurately reflects current conditions is a separate question from the fact that it influences buyer behavior. Some buyers who researched Pike County farmhouses and passed cite the association directly. Beyond perception, Pike County has real economic challenges. It is consistently among the lower-income counties in Ohio. The median household income is below state averages, and the poverty rate is above them. The Portsmouth Gaseous Diffusion Plant, a former uranium enrichment facility near Piketon in Pike County, has been undergoing cleanup operations managed by the Department of Energy. The plant's legacy and the ongoing remediation process are factors that prospective buyers of land in the area should research thoroughly, including reviewing available environmental assessment data for properties in proximity to the site. The farmhouse inventory in Pike County includes genuinely affordable properties. The buyers who pass are primarily those who conduct thorough due diligence on the economic context, environmental history, and the practical realities of rural living in a low-income county with limited services. Number 2, Newcomers Town. Newcomers Town is in Tuscarawas County in eastern Ohio, a small town of around 3,600 people in a county that has a more mixed economic picture than many southeastern Ohio communities. Tuscarawas County has some manufacturing base, a stronger agricultural sector than the more southern counties on this list, and slightly better service infrastructure.